When you decide that you want a new knife and you head into Knifewear, you're looking on the website, maybe you're in the store, we're handing you a bunch of knives, you're going to notice the handles are different. You're probably wondering, what makes a good handle? Does it have a full tang? Does it have those 3 rivets? Is it a Japanese one where it's round or an octagon or it's shaped like the letter D? Truth be told, the perfect handle is different depending on the knife you're using and depending on what you like. So today we're going to focus on some different styles and talk about the differences. So you've generally got 2 styles of handle. You've got a European style handle called a yo handle in the Japanese knife world, and you've got a Japanese style handle called a wa handle in the Japanese knife world. A lot of people are familiar with the European handle or the Western handle, usually a little bit heavier, a little more heft in the hand. A lot of people like that. I found when I was in culinary school or when I was still a cook, a lot of the cooks and chefs who came from the generation 1 or 2 ahead of me really preferred this style of handle. They found a Japanese knife to be too light. You want a little bit of weight in your hand. They've got, a lot of the time, they've got what's called a full tang, okay? What that means is that the handle is an extension of the blade. There's a piece of steel that runs right down through the middle of the handle, and the handle is affixed to that piece of steel. They usually knock in a couple of rivets in there. For a long time, a lot of people thought that a good knife must have this style of handle. That's not necessarily true. You can have a really great blade and use anything as a handle. But a lot of the bigger knife companies did a wonderful job with their marketing and convinced us that a good knife must have that full tang and 3 rivets. Okay? If you prefer something lighter, you might like a Japanese handle more. There's a bunch of different styles, but a lot of the time you're looking at something like this. Okay? There is a tang in here. There's an extension of the blade that runs to about here. And they'll heat up that tang and burn the wood on, so there's a perfect fit inside this handle. Now these wa handles or Japanese handles, you often have different shapes. This is an octagon. You can also get a round or an oval handle. You can get one that's shaped like the letter D. A lot of people think that this is a lot better for a right-handed person because of the way it fits in the hand and the crease of the fingers. I'm a lefty. Some of my favorite knives have a D-shaped handle. I just like the way they feel. So don't listen to kind of any of those rules because they might not apply to you. You can get a lot of different materials. You know, this Haruyuki that I'm showing you, it's got a darker wood, it's got this Paka collar here. You know, sometimes you'll get something like this Musashi, where he's made a really weird handle. It's kind of a hybrid between an octagon and an oval. It's made out of pagoda wood with a buffalo horn collar. So there is a good opportunity for some artistry when we're looking at the knife handles. There's a lot of really crazy ones out there. Sometimes we'll get some made with some burl woods, or from some local artisans. They'll make handles for us and we'll put them on different blades. Some of the important things to think about when you're buying a knife and when you're trying to figure out what sort of handle is good for you, you're going to find that this Western style handle, a little more heft in the hand, whereas a Japanese style knife, the weight is going to come with the blade. So you're going to find the blade is kind of doing a little bit more of the work because that's where the weight is. The nice thing about a Japanese handle is if your dog gets at it, which strangely enough I've had to replace at least 5 handles in the 5 years I've worked here because a dog chewed a knife, we can knock this off and put a brand new one on. What's more important to you is that the knife feels balanced in your hand. That means it's comfortable. It fits the way you want it to fit. That doesn't mean that we get to play teeter-totter games with our knives. That's something that's fun to do, and a lot of people like to kind of find where is that balance point on the knife. It doesn't really matter. If you're holding your knife properly, the way you're going to use it, and it feels good, that means it's balanced for you. So if you have any questions about any of the things we're talking about today, you can leave us a comment below, or you can send us an email at hello@knifewear.com. Anything you need, we're always here to help. Look forward to seeing you soon.